So, in the last video, we talked about loop, right? What's loop? The main work of loop is to sort in the program. So, there are total three types of loop. First is while loop, and here you can see for loop, and next is do while. I'll explain this later on. So, first, let us understand what is while loop. So, here you can see in while loop, there will be first while and condition, statements, and outside statement. Now, what are statements? So, statements are these things like printf. The work of printf is to print the subject or the input or anything you want to print or display outside, right? This thing. So this part we can that we are using inside the curly braces after the loop, like while loop. After the while loop we have used curly bracket, and after inside the curly bracket I have used printf, this part. So this is the statement. Okay, so first condition and then statement. So difference between while and do while is, first in while loop conditions comes first and then the statement. So I repeat, in while loop the condition come first, like condition is there, and the statement. But in do while loop you can see there will be first you have to give the output, the statement comes first and then the condition. So we'll explain this later on. Okay, so let's run the first program. So I'll copy, and I'll just right click and copy, and here you can see I'm using this one, sorry. Here you can see, okay, so I'm using a compiler named code block. So I'll debug it first and I'll run it. So here you can see how many outputs I've got: 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Why? Because the condition here says I is less than, the variable is less than 5. So whenever, and the value of variable is 0. So whenever the variable, the name of the name of the variable is I here, right? So whenever the I reaches or I is equal to the condition, it stops. So if I like this one 10, and I'll just debug it or compile and then run. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Clear? Got it? And I plus plus. But if I write here I minus minus like this, and if I do this one like this, and if I do this one like this, so again I have to declare here 10. Okay, so the value of I is 10, and while I is greater than 1, if I is greater than 1, then it will print this one until and unless it gets here. Look, same, right? So don't get confused. This part is called decrementation, and if we use plus plus, then it's called incrementation. So if you don't understand anything, you can just comment it below. I'll make us another video for this one. Okay. So now we'll understand the while loop. So directly I'll copy the code. Okay. So here I'll just Control A, Control P. I'll just debug it and I'll compile and I'll run it. Okay, here you can see enter a number, it's just 3. So 3, 5, 6, 8, 9. Okay, process return 0. Okay, so include a studio, the header file is there, int main function is there, int where. So where is the name of the variable here, int index. So there are two variables, where and index. So don't get confused. Okay, this where and index we can declare them in same line. So what is where now? Where and index are the variable. Now what is variable? So listen up. So whenever you are going in a school, right, you guys take admission first. Admission first means if you don't if the teachers or a school doesn't recognize you, or if your name is not in the attendance, so are you allowed to sit in the class, or do your teacher will recognize you? No, Why? Because they don't know you, they don't recognize you who as a person, right? So same here in a C program or any programming language, the computer or the program doesn't know who is where. So we are declaring where is an integer. Where is an integer? Int is the data type here. So I'll just remove this part so that you guys don't get confused. I'll use comma and semicolon again. Int where one variable, index another variable, and the value of index is 0. So yesterday I told you equal equal means equal and single equal means is. So the value of index is 0, and there is another variable named where. So here you can see while index is, if you can't see the code, I'll zoom it. Okay, in where index equal to 0 while index is less than 5. So the value of index is 0. It is already declared. And here it says index is less than 5 if while. So while means जब भी इंडेक्स का वैल्यू 5 से कम है ये वाला काम स्टार्ट होगा. So printf enter a number. Will say enter a number. So if I'll compile it and run it, so here you can see, sorry, here you can see, okay, here you can say enter a number which is written in the first line. So if I enter 2, okay, as soon as I press enter, what does this 2 gets input. This 2 is the input number, right? So there is %d. The name %d means format specifier. So whenever you are inputting or giving a number or taking out a number which is integer value, you will use %d. If you are using some alphabetical name like name, email ID, then you will use %c, which means character. Or if you use point value with the decimal value like 2.5, 3.5, 6.5, 100.10, 10, 10. If there is point in a number that you are giving input or taking output, then it will be %f. And in place of int, you have to write float. And if you are giving an input of a name, then here %c, and here will be char, char. Char means character. In place of int, you have to write char, and here in place of %d, you have to write %c. So enter a number. So enter a number. Whenever I give enter a number 2, %d took the number to where. So what was the value of where? Nothing, right? Null, not even 0. So inside the where there is 2. Now again here is printf. So the use of printf is to give output, scanf is to take input. So printf it gives the output. Here you can see output, and whenever I give 2, it went to scanf, % took the number and gave it to the where. So this is called ampersand and symbol, like this. You guys already know this. And picture is there, right? And Jammu and Kashmir, and which one we use, and so this is called ampersand and C programming. So ampersand where. So now the print again here you can see in printf you entered %d. So the value of, I already told you, %d takes input also and gives output also. So there is where. So in where the value is stored as 2. So you entered %d where. So what was the value inside the where? We already gave 2. %d took the number and gave it to where, and you entered %d and it gave us output also 2. So the value of where is now again null, khali. So next I'll give 5. So same process. Again it went to %d took the number and gave it to where, and you entered %d where. So again same. Alright. Now if you add here 44, same. Again we'll have 7, same. First input to %d to where and output through %d from where. 7. Now 8. Now you entered process return 0, 0. Suddenly why? Because here you can see the condition was 5. Until and unless the value of index doesn't become 5, this program will run. Like I'll explain you again. So value of index is 0 first while index is less than 5. So this programs get run, right? This part.